Hi kindergarten, today I'm going to be showing you how to compare characters in two different stories. So we are going to use the stories that you've already listened to, I Know a Lady and Flower Garden, and we're going to talk about the main characters in each book. Remember, the character is the person the story is about, and in I Know a Lady, remember, this book was about a loving and lovable old lady in her neighborhood who grows flowers, waves to the children when they pass her house, and she bakes cookies for them. In this story here, we have a girl and her father pick out a wonderful assortment of flowers to bring home. The girl plants the flowers in a window box as a birthday surprise for her mom. So we're going to talk about the old lady and the young girl from these two books and talk about how they are alike. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to move this aside. You can see up here, I have the title, I Know a Lady. I have the word both, and I have the title, The Flower Garden. So the main character from The Flower Garden, remember, is the young girl. The main character from I Know a Lady is the old lady. So I have some sentence strips here filled with sentences about the characters. So some of these sentences are going to match the old lady. Some of these sentences are going to match the young girl. And some of these sentences are going to fit for both characters. So we're going to find similarities, things that are the same about the old lady and the young girl. So the first sentence says, this character lived in a city. Do you remember which character lived in a city? Was it the old lady from I Know a Lady, or is it the young girl from the Flower Garden? That's right, it was the young girl from the Flower Garden. She lived in the city. The next one says, this character had a flower garden. Do you remember which character had a flower garden? Well, I know the old lady had a flower garden, and I also know that the young girl had a flower garden too outside of her window. So that means that both characters had a flower garden. So that's something that both of the characters have in common. They have a similarity. This character was young. Which character do you think was young? Yep, the girl from the Flower Garden, the little girl. All right, next up we have, this character lived in the country. This character lived in a country. Was it the old lady from I Know a Lady? Was it the little girl from the Flower Garden? It was the old lady. Good job. She lived in the country, which is why she was planting her flowers in the ground, because she had more space to plant her flowers in the ground. Next we have, this character was very kind. This character was very kind. What are you thinking? I think the old lady was very kind because she did a lot of very nice things for the neighborhood children. And I think the little girl was also very kind because she planted a special surprise garden for her mom. So I'm gonna say both characters were kind. And did you see I gave you reasons why I thought they were both kind? We have, this character was old. Yep, that's gonna go right here. I Know a Lady. This character was old. And the last one we have is, this character baked a cake. Do you remember which character baked a cake? So I think this one is quite tricky because in I Know a Lady, we know that the old lady baked cakes around Easter time for the children, but in the flower garden, there was a picture of a birthday cake there, but I'm gonna guess that they both baked cakes because I saw a picture of a cake in the flower garden as well as the cakes that the little cakes that the old lady would make. So that's how we can compare characters. So this character, the old lady, she was old, she lived in the country. In this character, we had a young girl who lived in the city. And because she lived in a city, that's why her flower garden was outside of her window. She created a beautiful flower garden to hang outside of her window. And both of these characters, although they are different and they live in different places, they also have things in common. They both had a flower garden. They were both very kind, and they both baked a cake. Right, great job, kindergarten.